Welcome to the show, everybody. Joseph Robert Camo, the fantasy football counselor. In this video, I'm going to talk about upside players. This is literally just shut your brain off. Let's just talk about players that could really boom, that have a lot of upside. I don't care about ADP. I don't care if, they bust. All I want to talk about, I want to shut the brain off today and talk about upside players. That's it. We're just going to talk about upside players, guys that could really boom. Before we get into this, guys, manscaped.com, use promo code ShowerLion. Get yourself a trimmer, ball wipes, underwear, everything you guys need. Manscaped.com, promo code ShowerLion. And of course, get the 16-round draft, which at thefantasyfootballcounselor.com. You will crush your leagues, okay? So let's have a quick discussion here, literally about these upside players. Players that could really boom this year. Players that, it doesn't matter where you draft them. Some of them could be really good value. Some of them could be early round guys, but they could absolutely boom. High ceiling players, okay? Let's just talk about it. Let's start off with the quarterback position here. Now, this guy, he's on the cover art here on the YouTube, is Trevor Lawrence. Now, listen, I love the upside. Although I was watching training camp, he didn't look too accurate. But again, we've seen worse. I remember going to a training camp with Josh Allen, and he looked really off, and then he tore it up, right? So, Trevor Lawrence could tear it up. His receiving core isn't amazing, but understand, guys, it's going to be a disaster. I looked at it. Marvin Jones is going to be a hoarder near that goal line and in the red zone. They've got DJ Chark there. They've got Laviska Shenault. Etienne's going to be involved in the passing game. But he's got some weapons that can catch the ball. So Trevor Lawrence is that boom type of player, currently sitting around 15th, 16th on the Consensus rankings. You get this guy for a huge deal, and he could absolutely boom. Okay, so Trevor Lawrence is a boom type of quarterback. Again, young, was drafted first overall. He's got that upside, okay? And again, you're not paying anything to get him. You get him super cheap, right? Other guys here at the quarterback position, Justin Herbert, I think he's going to absolutely boom. I don't think we've seen the ceiling of Justin Herbert. 30-plus touchdowns last year. Love him as a guy that could absolutely boom, major upside there. And you're getting him for decent value. Round 5 is where he's coming off. And that's where you get those value guys. Last year, Josh Allen, Russell Wilson, those value guys in round 5. While people were spending money on Lamar Jackson, you were getting, your Josh Allens at round 5, okay? Joe Burrow, ton of boom upside. But again, with upside comes risk. You got to understand that, guys. But Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, guys, T. Higgins, he's got some weapons there that can make him really, really special, okay? Other guys here at quarterback, like Trey Lance, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, we don't know who could boom here. But again, it depends on, when they're going to get on the field, how everything's going to gel with their offense. So much uncertainty with these rookie quarterbacks, but as of right now, Trevor Lawrence is kind of that upside quarterback, okay? Looking at running backs, those boom type of running backs here, obviously Dalvin Cook, but he is due for a decline. Let's be honest, decline imminent for Dalvin Cook. Saquon Barkley, he's a huge high ceiling guy. Again, coming off injury, a lot of uncertainty with Saquon Barkley. I know why you're hesitant on drafting him. I don't care. I'm going to go for him in the early top 5 picks. Ceiling upside, there's no other running back there that's going to be a threat for Saquon Barkley. Tons of upside, okay? Najee Harris, huge upside there. We're talking Le'Veon Bell plus type of upside. I understand the O-line isn't what it was years ago, but the talent of Najee is better than Le'Veon Bell, whereas Le'Veon Bell was simply a product of the offense. So Najee Harris primed for a huge workload, huge upside, massive ceiling, okay? Other guys with massive ceilings here at running back, if Melvin Gordon goes away, we're looking at Javonte Williams. If he's a 3-down back in Denver, eventually there's a huge ceiling there. But as of right now, those are your high ceiling running backs. There's other guys that could emerge. Josh Jacobs could have a good year. Drake is there, might be a bit of a pain in the ass, not as high ceiling. But as of running backs, I love Saquon. I love Najee Harris. Obviously, Dalvin Cook, always a high ceiling guy. And you can't discount Christian McCaffrey as well. Okay, let's talk about the wide receivers. There's a ton of boom type wide receivers here. I'm telling you. Ridley, huge ceiling. Julio Jones is gone. Calvin Ridley, love him, huge ceiling. Who else is here? I'm going to go with Deontay Johnson. I don't think he's hit his ceiling. 144 targets, led the Steelers last year. And again, I still think there's more in the tank for Deontay Johnson. Huge ceiling type of guy. Again, if Juju kind of goes away and Big Ben harnesses his energy towards Deontay, we're looking at an Antonio Brown type of year from a couple years ago. That's how good he could be. Because I would only imagine that his rapport with Big Ben got better, and so did his receiving, okay? Other upside guys here, DJ Chark. But again, I think Marvin Jones is going to be a pest in the red zone. But I like him. Jamar Chase, him and that Burrow connection could be phenomenal. Huge ceiling there. Michael Thomas, if he comes back, healthy, starts connecting with Winston, there could be a ceiling there, but nothing that excites me right off the bat. And those are pretty much your high ceiling wide receivers. Obviously, Tyreek Hill and Stephon Diggs. I mean, huge ceiling for him. I don't think he's hit his stride there, okay? And with tight ends here, it's very simple, guys. Hawkinson and Pitts are the guys that are jumping out at me for huge upside, high ceiling guys. So again, it's up to you guys to make a decision. Do you want to invest early, in tight ends here with Hawkinson and Hawkinson, I keep saying Hawkinson and Pitts, because they're coming out third, fourth round. Is that an investment you're ready to take on? Because that's where you got to get them. Huge upside, but huge risk. Okay, some of the guys I mentioned here, like your Trevor Lawrence's, your Jamar Chase, you're not paying as much for. These guys are very risky with a high ceiling with Hawkinson and Pitts, but you're going to have to pay an earlier draft pick. So, Joe, why is Pitts and Hawkinson, why are they so high? Why are they such a high ceiling? Well, understand, guys, Jared Goff is there. He literally has no receivers other than the upside of Amon-Ra St. Brown, the rookie that came in. They have no other wide receivers there in Detroit. Hawkinson showed us that he can be the guy, can be a target guy, can catch the ball very well. Someone's got to catch the ball in Detroit, right? So Hawkinson's a guy with a huge ceiling simply for the fact that they don't have any receivers. When you look at Kyle Pitts, you're looking at a situation where Matt Ryan throws more than anybody else, guys. He literally throws more than anybody else in the NFL, Matt Ryan. So then you've got Kyle Pitts, who's sitting there, and you're like, oh my God, there's a huge ceiling because there's a void of 150 some odd targets with Julio Jones being gone. So again, you're looking at a situation with a void, right? Julio gone. He's a pass-catching tight end. He was drafted early. Kyle Pitts, arguably one of the best talents coming out of college for the 2021 draft. And again, high draft capital, so he will be used, okay? You got to understand, these people will be utilized, these tight ends, because again, there's no one else there. Now, you could say, Matt Ryan, they've got Ridley. I get it. But you got to understand, guys, that Julio Jones is gone. Someone's got to make up those targets. Is it going to be Russell Gage? I don't think so. Kyle Pitts is the guy. Looking at tight end, literally, it's a crapshoot at this point. Robert Tonyan, but he's more of a red zone guy. Mike Gesicki has a bit of a ceiling depending on how he gels with the quarterback. Is it going to be Tua? How is Tua going to connect with him? That's something that we're going to be watching here in training camp. So, yeah, those are your high ceiling. Now, there is obviously players that are going to boom, okay, at every position. You're looking at wide receivers. A couple other guys here, wide receiver, I forgot to mention, that could absolutely boom here. Again, it depends on the quarterback situation. Is the rookie's Devontae Smith? But again, a lot of this is predicated on the quarterback. But there's that type of boom potential. Jalen Waddell, obviously another guy that could boom. Any one of these rookies could boom, but you got to look at the guys in the best situation. I do like Elijah Moore. I like Amon-Ra St. Brown when we're talking wide receiver sleepers. Traquan Smith, there's some upside there for the first couple games with Michael Thomas being gone. But that's it. I mean, Michael Pittman, but we lost Carson Wentz. From what I understand with Carson Wentz, he could be back week 1. We're just not sure. So, I mean, that's it, guys. Those are your boom type upside players. Understand, when you are getting those upside players, now, some of them you got to invest early. If you are going later, make sure you get those consistent players as well. When we're talking fantasy football draft strategy, understand, guys, you have to have a balance of upside and a balance of consistency, okay? You can't always go upside. If you always go upside, you're putting your team at risk, okay? Because upside, and they all bust, right? Then you're in trouble. So it's very important, guys, that you make sure you have a balanced roster with guys that are consistent, guaranteed that volume, and the guys with some upside, okay? And again, some of these guys I mentioned at upside, they're earlier draft guys like your Stephon Diggs, a little more consistent guys, okay? There's another guy here, David Montgomery, could absolutely boom. I don't know if you saw the video just came out where he's literally just saying, hey, coach, put me in. I'm made for Sundays. So Montgomery's showing some signs that he could be the guy. And when you are looking for upside players, you got to look at talent, opportunity, depth chart, and volume. That's something that I always preach in my courses and in the 16-round draft solution, guys. You got to go for that upside, okay? But when you do that, there's got to be some guaranteed volume. So David Montgomery also primed to succeed. So, guys, I got to get going here, but make sure you do get the 16-round draft solution. Get it below at thefantasyfootballcounselor.com. I'm going to help you guys crush your leagues. And, of course, guys, understand that you have to subscribe if you're new to the channel. Because, again, I'm thinking outside the box. Subscribe, leave a thumbs up. I appreciate you guys being here. Fantasy football is almost here, beyond over the moon excited. Make sure you guys are ready to crush your league. 16 rounds will help you. It's like having me at the draft with you guys, okay? Subscribe, thumbs up. Hope you guys enjoy this. Just an open discussion here about upside players. We'll talk soon.